the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix at Barber Motorsports Park. It's green, we're racing in Alabama.
A great jump from McLaughlin. He's going to lead comfortably into turn one.
Hello IndyCar fans! Welcome to Formula Pun Racer, the channel where car racing and comedy collide. And to all my loyal subscribers, welcome back. Today is May 10th, 2024, and I'm here today to give you my review on the IndyCar race which occurred on April 28th at Barber Motorsports Park outside of Birmingham, Alabama. And like the track itself, this race had its share of many twists and turns. For instance, how I said in my last video that Team Penske got themselves in big trouble by getting disqualified for their St. Pete round for using the push to pass illegally and such. And no doubt Penske has reacted swiftly in regards to this, and I'll explain a little more after I finish reviewing this race. But on top of that, well, as for David Malukas of Arrow McLaren, considering he still hasn't been cleared to race in IndyCars still, I hate to say this, but for all David Malukas fans, for who haven't known yet, Arrow McLaren had decided to let him go. Yeah, I know, I'm really sorry about that, David. I'm sure all your fans would agree. I hope you find a ride soon. And as for the number 6 car at Arrow McLaren, once again, last year's Formula 2 champion, Théo Pourchaire, would resume control, and in fact it is said that he will, with the exception of the Indianapolis 500, race full-time at Arrow McLaren in the number 6 car. As for the Indy 500, somehow, for some reason, not eligible to become rookie in that, so I'm afraid he's going to sit this out. So who's going to drive the number 6 car at the Indianapolis 500 has yet to be decided, even though Callum Ilott seems most likely to come back for this one. We'll see. But as for the race at Barber Motorsports Park, let's see how it all went down. At the drop of the green flag, McLaughlin led ahead of teammate Will Power, but already in the back of the pack, Rinus VeeKay created a chain reaction crash by rear-ending Stingray Robb, who in turn spun Jack Harvey around. Kyffin Simpson barely managed to avoid Harvey and Robb as they spun. Rinus would be issued a drive-through penalty for the contact. Lap 2 would also have a close moment when Colton Herta and Santino Ferrucci were wheel-to-wheel with one another. At the same time, Ward, who was battling with Lundgaard for 3rd place, tried to get around Lundgaard in one of the corners, but he was just too hot and went off course in a great spin. Fortunately, the Mexican managed to continue on with no damage. Unfortunately, Pato's misfortunes were just beginning. On lap 5, while attempting to pass Pietro Fittipaldi, Pato hit a bump, causing him to momentarily lose control of the car and to hit Pietro's rear end. This caused Fittipaldi to slide off track and go rear first into the tire barrier, bringing out the caution flag. Pietro was out, but he was unhurt. Pato was issued a drive-through penalty when the race restarted on lap 11. Oh. Yep, a day gone from bad to worse for Pato Ward, but the same could also be said for Scott Dixon, who has yet to win at Barber Park. As he was struggling to get by Graham Rahal for 6th place on lap 18, he also slid off into the gravel trap in the same spot as O'Ward did in his attempt to get around Lundgaard. But just like O'Ward, Dixon continued on, but it would be a race to forget for him too. On top of that, for all of us who hate Team Penske, they were still leading 1-2 with McLaughlin in the lead, Will Power 2nd, and the Danish butter cookie of Christian Lundgaard of Rahal Letterman a distant 3rd. On lap 25, Christian Lundgaard's fellow countryman Christian Rasmussen, the rookie, the Danish butter cookie rookie you could say, at Ed Carpenter Racing, had a bit of a Scandi scuffle with Swedish driver Marcus Ericsson of Andretti Global going in through turns 8 and 9. And even though Rasmussen was forced off the track, miraculously he was able to keep it off the walls and continue on. A gift from Valhalla for this Viking indeed. Yes! Scott McLaughlin's solid leading performance would come to a stop when he would take his first pit stop on lap 28. Alex Palou would take over the lead by then. And over the course of the next few laps, the drivers would shuffle about through pit cycles. And in the end, Palou was still leading and such. But on lap 44, it would unfortunately be all over for Alexander Rossi at Arrow McLaren when his left rear tire came off because it was not secured on properly, leaving the pits, bringing out the 2nd caution of the race.
Hey, where'd that wheel come from?
The race restarted on lap 48 with Alex Palou in the lead, Felix Rosenqvist in 2nd, and Marcus Armstrong 3rd. But 4 laps after the restart, one of the most bizarre incidents that I've ever seen basically in a race would occur. Considering how Mr. Barber, the man who created Barber Motorsports Park, has a lot of interesting decorations across the area of the track, inside and out. There's this mannequin that is dangles on a bridge that straddles the track. It somehow came undone and fell just slightly off the track onto the grass. So fortunately, it was off the racing line, but unfortunately part of it got damaged when one car clobbered over it at full speed. Oh boy, it was definitely a sight that even got AJ Foyt team owner Larry Foyt laughing his head off over, because boy, have we seen everything, or haven't we? Oh boy. True, Larry Foyt and the rest of the AJ Foyt team may have been smiling and laughing over that mannequin falling off the bridge, just like you and me, the fans of Indycars. Unfortunately, he and the rest of the AJ Foyt team wouldn't be laughing very long, as 3 laps after that mannequin fell off the bridge, their driver, Stingray Rob, lost control in the same corner he was spun around on the first lap, only this time he wasn't so lucky, as he lost control on his own and the car snapped around and he went headfirst into the tire barrier. Stingray was okay, but he was unfortunately robbed of a good performance. This brought out the caution and gave his teammate, Santino Ferrucci in the number 14 car, the opportunity to take the lead over as Alex Palou would pit. And behind him was Chip Ganassi driver and Swedish rookie Linus Lundqvist, and behind them for third would be the Penske driver Scott McLaughlin. It was definitely going to be a battle of attrition, as it was AJ Foyt, Chip Ganassi, and Penske 1, 2, 3 at this point. Lap 60 saw this tight battle resume, with Santino Ferrucci leading on, but Linus Lundqvist and Scott McLaughlin were not going to let him get away that easily. However, by lap 66, Santino Ferrucci had to relinquish the lead to pit, giving over the lead to Linus Lundqvist. 4 laps later, Linus would follow suit, surrendering the lead to Scott McLaughlin. It would be a lead that the young Kiwi would not relinquish. Further back in the field, on lap 78, Augustine Canapino tapped and spun Christian Rasmussen around. Canapino's penalty was to yield 8 places as a result. That was not the end of the Danish butter cookie rookie's slips and slides. With 5 laps to go, he spun on his own in turn 13. Miraculously, no contact with other cars or the barrier, but his car stalled, bringing out the final caution. The race restarted as a 2-lap sprint to the finish. McLaughlin was leading and Will Power second, Linus Lundqvist in third. Unfortunately, on the final lap, Pato O'Ward's miserable day was made even worse when he hit his own teammate Theo Pourchaire. O'Ward was penalized by surrendering 1 position while the left front toe link and steering to Pourchaire's car was damaged. When all was said and done, it was Scott McLaughlin taking back-to-back victories in Barber Park. His teammate, Will Power, finished second, and Linus Lundqvist of Chip Ganassi would finish third. Congratulations, Scott McLaughlin, on a superb performance. It is unfortunate that for Arrow McLaren, this was indeed a race to forget, and more so embarrassing for Pato O'Ward, considering that despite winning by default in St. Pete, this has not been a great season for him thus far. And after running into Theo Pourchaire like that, I hate to think there might be some ill will between them like this, but hopefully not. There might be some big meetings going on at Arrow McLaren headquarters, but hopefully nobody's getting in deep trouble for this. But speaking of getting into trouble, while Penske may have finished 1-2 in Barber Park, the hardships that I told you about that they faced regarding St. Petersburg has been addressed by Roger Penske himself, because for the Indy 500 and the race before it, the Indy GP, 4 key personnel have been suspended and banned for 2 races this season, the 2 Indycar rounds in Indianapolis, which means that these 4 key personnel are not allowed anywhere near the race track itself or communicate or do anything with Team Penske during this whole time. In fact, one of the biggest of those 4 key personnel that have been banned for 2 races, suspended but not fired, is the team's president himself, Tim Cindric. So this is surprising because considering Tim Cindric definitely helped Josef Newgarden to victory as race strategist and like 3 other engineers. Like, this is a surprise. Like, Tim Cindric of Team Penske, the president, banned from the Indy 500 this year.
Burn.
Despite a Penske 1-2, I'd say it's as sweet as Sweden to see the Swedish rookie Linus Lundqvist of Chip Ganassi come home in 3rd. And it's also impressive to see Colton Herta, as a result of finishing 8th, he now holds the points lead by just 2 points over Scott Dixon. It's the first time Colton has ever led the IndyCar Championship. Unfortunately, though, in contrast to St. Pete, where Penske has been accused of cheating, they get away with this one legitimately, so this is, once again, is a legitimate pie in the face for us anti-Penske fans.
Where's Marcus?
To answer that question, Marcus Armstrong of New Zealand finished 9th, Marcus Ericsson of Sweden finished 18th. Well, congratulations once again, Scott McLaughlin and Will Power, for a Penske 1-2, proving that Penske can be indeed mightier than the sword. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please check out my other videos and be sure to like, share, and subscribe and comment to Formula Punt Racer, where you don't have to be a racing fan to get a good laugh. And the next IndyCar round is less than 24 hours from this recording, the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the IMS road course, which you can catch on May 11th, NBC at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Who will cross the Art of Bricks going the opposite direction? Will it be last year's IMS GP winner Alex Palou or someone else? Tune in to find out. Well, once again, I'll see you all in the next video. I'm Aaron Cylinder, firing on all cylinders.